welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm here with a Crystal Beast fanatic, Josh, and today we are going to open up one of these structure decks so y'all can see what's in it, and then we are going to build a budget version, I guess you can say.
If you're going to use all three structure decks, it's budget.
Yeah, it's going to be all three structure decks.
Yeah.
And then we'll build a deck out of all three structure decks. So
this is one of the few structure decks you can actually take all three and make a decent budget deck.
Yeah, when I see these decks, it reminds me of Salomon Greats and probably Shadal's, well, and Albaz, of course. After those three, I think those are the best ones that you can take just three and then make a structure deck out of.
Right.
There is your playmat.
Rainbow Dragon on steroids.
Yep. That's a mean face. Okay. There's some of the lines you all can go through.
Basically, your idea in this deck is to gather all 7 Crystal Beasts, bust out Rainbow Dragon, and eventually go up to Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon and get 11,000 OTK.
And then you can see some of the last cards that came out in Powerly Elements you can use in there. So let's crack on into this and.
We don't crack. We don't crack gems. We dig them up.
Well, we're gonna open this if I can open it. All right, let me try to get this in focus here. We got our Rainbow Dragon Ultra. Then we have the Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon. Then we have just a plain old Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. I think that got the upprint and goes from the past 2. So that's the first reprint of that card. So it's still pretty cheap. And then we have the Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. And Crystal Bond as our last Ultra. For a second, that somewhat looks like a Ghost Rare in the right light.
Oh, that's a reprint too. Because Crystal Bond came out in Ancient Millennium.
So there's your Ultras. You have just the plain old Rainbow Overdrive as a super. And then you have 2 tokens.
For all y'all GX fans, you'll recognize those. Jesse Anderson and the Crystal Beast.
And then you're going to have your other Crystal Beast token in the back.
Which, if you use a certain spell card in this deck, you will actually use those.
And then here for your regular Crystal Beast cards, you have Ruby Carbuncle, you have Anemome's Cat.
Amethyst.
My bad. You have the Tortoise.
Emerald Tortoise.
Topaz Tiger.
Incisor.
Amber Mammoth, or as I called him, the Elephant.
You know who voiced him on GX?
Who?
Sean Schimmel voiced him in his best version of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So in other words, not a Goku voice.
For once.
Cobalt Eagle, Sapphire Pegasus,
Got that one right.
Rainbow Dark Dragon. I got that one right too. Then we have the Crystal Master.
Which, if you all look at that right there looks like how when Jesse was taken over by Bell. That's kind of what his look was like.
And then you have Hamon.
Very good tech card.
Crystal Keeper.
And that's like normal Jesse Anderson.
D-Shifter, which is another good reprint. I know everyone was hoping this would get banned, but it got a reprint in the 10s and then another reprint in this structure deck.
Yeah, I'm glad I got a playset now.
Yeah, D-Shifter's just good. Contact C, which I don't understand.
Does anybody know what kind of bug that is? I want to know what kind of bug that is that has glowing eyes like that.
I don't know. Who knows?
Because all these C cards are just disturbing.
Here's a Ash Blossom Common, which is another very good reprint.
It'll still be $20.
And a Ghost Bell. And then here we are going into the spells. We have Awakening of the Crystal Ultimate.
That should have been a holo. At least a super.
It'll probably be an Ultra in the Battle of Legends.
I hope so.
Crystal...
Agus.
Thank you. Then Rainbow Ruins. Rainbow Bridge. We got the Beacon. The Blessing. The Abundance. We have a promise, a tree, a release. We got some rare value here. Some rainbow refraction, advanced dark. I really don't understand why they put melody in here.
That was for this guy's search.
Gotcha.
He's a 3,000 attack points.
And then we got Foolish Burial Goods, Cosmic Cyclone, Crystal Boon, Crystal Miracle.
Awesome that we finally got a counter trap.
Probably should have been a holo also. Maybe in Battle of
I'm
Legends.
just happy we got a counter trap.
And then we have a Crystal Brilliance, Crystal Pair, Conclave, the Ultimate Crystal Magic.
Now that Ultimate Crystal Magic came out in color rares before, so that's a reprint.
And then we have the Counter Gem, Ferret Flames, and Metaverse. So that's everything in the structure deck. And now we're going to get started, and we'll be back with a build.
If there's ever a time that you wanted to bling out a deck, Crystal Beast is the one to do it with. You got all the gems in the world that you want. You got sapphires, you got rubies, you got amethyst, you got amber. And you can make a necklace for everything with this deck. Agree?
Agree.
Alright. So we're going to do this little budget deck profile with using pretty much mostly the 3 structure decks. We did add a little bit of stuff to the extra deck, but if you're just using straight budget with the 3 structure decks, you'd only have your 2 dragons in there. So we'll start off with the main deck over here. Found some nice jade sleeves. Hint, hint, wink, wink, Konami. We could have a Jade Crystal Beast. But first, starting off with 3 copies of Sapphire Pegasus, your main starter of the whole group. And definitely a 3 of, because he gets you another Crystal Beast to your spell and trap zone. Then we use 2 Ruby Carbuncles. Great little card. When it's summoned to the field, it'll special summon all your Crystal Beasts out of your spell and trap zone when it's special summoned, which is not hard to do in this deck. So that's 2 of those. Got 2 Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle. He's one of the lower tier Crystal Beast monsters. He doesn't really have a real great effect, but he can recycle stuff, so up to your deck, so it's not bad. He's mostly there for numbers. Then you got Crystal Beast Amber Mammoth, the big boy who protects all the other Crystal Beasts by making everybody attack him. Then you got 2 copies of Crystal Beast Topaz Tiger. He gets 400 more attack points whenever he attacks. I really like his advanced Crystal Beast that's coming out later on, because it makes everybody gain attack. Then you got 2 copies of Crystal Beast Amethyst Cat. By cutting her attack points in half, she can attack your opponent directly, which is sometimes not bad. It's when you need to go for game where you got a monster you can't get around right away.
Or when you're in time.
Or time, yes. Then we got 1 copy of Emerald Tortoise. And he's kind of probably the weakest of the Crystal Beasts, because he has an effect where only once per turn, you target a monster you control that attack this turn changes the defense position. So he can protect you against Lightning Storm if somebody draws a random Lightning Storm, which is not such a bad thing. We got 1 copy of Crystal Master. Probably the better of the pendulum picks, because you can tribute him and you get to search for an ultimate crystal monster, a crystal beast monster, or a crystal spell and trap. So you won't really use him for the pendulum effect, but you can use the monster effect. Then we'll have 2 copies of the OG Rainbow Dragon, the bringer of the 7 gems. he's pretty self-explanatory. You got to have all 7 Crystal Beast monsters in your field or graveyard, and then you can special summon him from your hand. His other effect is you can send all Crystal Beast monsters you control to the graveyard, and this card will gain 1,000 attack for each monster sent to the graveyard. You can banish all Crystal Beast monsters from your graveyard to shuffle all cards on the field into the deck. So he can be an OTK, he can be a board wipe, he can be the game ender pretty much. Back in the day, he was a game ender before we had all the new, Rainbow Dragons. Then we're going to play 2 of the Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, which I believe is the first form of the Rainbow Dragon. I believe that we have an evolution of Rainbow Dragons because we go Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon was like his first form, his adult form, then Over Dragon was like his ascendant form. And this one, the new fusion, is just him on steroids. At least that's what it looks like to me.
I'd say he has that face that's like, I'm angry.
So, but our Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon, this face-up card in the Monster Zone is in a Monster Zone. You can place it face-up in the Spell and Trap Zone as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the graveyard. So he gains the same effects as the other Crystal Beast. This is, which you can only use that once per turn. It says when an attack is declared involving a Crystal Beast monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So he is instant special summon during the battle phase. You can banish this card, treat it as a continuous spell to special summon one level 4 lower Crystal Beast monster from your deck, but negate its effects. And if you do, add an ultimate crystal monster from your deck to your hand. Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon special summons can be put in the Spell and Trap Zone as a Crystal Beast, and it also gets you another Crystal Beast out of your deck. So he's like he's not just a one-trick pony. Not anymore. And then for a tech pick from the old school days, we got one Haman, Lord of Striking Thunder. If anybody's ever played Sacred Beast or watched Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 1, they know you gotta send 3 continuous spell cards to the graveyard to summon this bad boy. But you gotta send 3 continuous spells to the graveyard to summon him out. He's got 4,000 attack and defense. If he's in defense mode, he protects everything. And when he destroys a monster, the opponent, your opponent also loses 1,000 life points. And for our only hand traps, 2 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring.
Ash is Ash.
Yeah, pretty much. If you don't have Ash, you got Ghost Spell in the deck. You can always use Ghost Spell. So, to the spells. The first one we got is Crystal Bond. And it lets you add 1 Crystal Beast monster from your deck to your hand. And then, once you do that, you can place a Crystal Beast monster with a different name from your deck into your Spell and Trap Zone. So, it instantly gets your play started. It's hard to see right there, but that right there is Jesse and Ruby Carbuncle, showing the bond between Jesse Henderson and his Crystal Beast. All about family. Now, one of the new cards, Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, actually has a scene from the GX series where Rainbow Dragon was protecting all the other Crystal Beasts. But this one's effect says during your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Crystal Beast monster in addition to your normal summoner set, which can set up XYZs or Link plays in the deck that we didn't have back in the day, because all we had was fusions. You can only use each effect of Rainbow Bridge of Heart once per turn. During your main phase, you can destroy 1 Crystal Beast card you control or in your hand, and if you do, add 1 Crystal Spell or Trap from your deck to your hand. So, searcher for your spells and traps as well. Also, an extra summon. If a Crystal Beast card is placed in your Spell and Trap Zone, even during the damage step, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, return both that card and this card to their hand. So then it gets the card off the field. So that's a pretty good card, I would say. Definitely a big upgrade for this deck. Then we've got 3 Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates. Reveal 1 Ultimate Crystal Beast monster in the hand, then activate one of these effects. If you control an Ultimate Crystal monster, you can activate 1 or 2 of these effects in sequence instead, and you do not have to reveal a monster. So, first effect is take 1 Rainbow Bridge or Rainbow Refraction card from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. The second effect is special summon 1 Crystal Beast monster card from your hand, deck, or graveyard, or spell and trap zone. You can only activate 1 of these per turn. So, that was our searcher for Rainbow Bridge that we've never had because Rainbow Bridge has never been a crystal card. But it gets a lot of other things done as well. Speaking of Rainbow Bridge, play 3 of that now. And it lets you add 1 crystal spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Pretty easy, self-explanatory. Definitely need it now, especially since it can be searched. We also play 2 copies of Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. One of the old school cards. It says you must have this many Crystal Beast cards in your spell and trap zone to activate and resolve these effects. If you have 1 or more, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. 2 or more, once per turn, including the opponents, you can half the damage from a battle you take. 3 or more, when a spell or trap is activated, you can send 1 Crystal Beast monster you control to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. 4 or more, once per turn during your main phase, you can draw 1 card. And if you have 5 or more, during your main phase, you can target 1 Crystal Beast card in your spell and trap zone and special summon it. Most of the time, depending on how your draws go, you usually don't get past 3. But every once in a while, you can get lucky and get all the way up to at least 4. But you got plenty of other cards to special summon cards out, so getting up to 5 would be pretty rare. We got 1 copy of Crystal Blessing, which allows you to take 2 Crystal Beast monsters in your graveyard and place them in your spell and trap zone. Then we have 1 copy of Crystal Beacon, which lets you special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your deck, but you must have 2 Crystal Beast monsters in your spell and trap zone. So you can do the Blessing Beacon combo to get that set up, so you can get something out of your deck. Then we play 2 Pot of Extravagance. Everybody should be pretty familiar with this card, but you banish 3 or 6 random cards from your extra deck, and if you do, you get to draw 1 card for each 3 or 6 cards. So, the counter trap, Crystal Miracle. So glad we got a counter trap finally. But basically, what this card does is when a spell or trap or monster effect is activated, you can destroy 1 Crystal Beast card you control, and if you do, negate the activation, and if you do that, destroy that card. If a Crystal Beast card is placed in your spell and trap zone while this card is in your graveyard, even during the damage step, you can banish this card, place 1 Crystal Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in the spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. You can only use this effect of Crystal Miracle once per turn. So this is a Omni Negate. Gets you set up for your spell and trap zone with your Crystal Beast, which is the main focus of the deck, so I think it's pretty dang good. Then we got 1 copy of Crystal Conclave, and it is one of the older continuous spells that we've had before in the deck. But once per turn, if a face-up Crystal Beast monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Crystal Beast monster from your deck. So you get recursion, get follow-up. You can send this card from face-up field to the graveyard. Then target a Crystal Beast monster you control and 1 card on the field and return them to the hand. So, if a monster is destroyed, it gets you follow-up. Then, you can even choose to send it to the graveyard and give you more room for your Crystal Beast in your spell and trap zone and get rid of one of your opponent's cards all at the same time. Pretty good card. Now we got Crystal Brilliance. Says you can only control one Crystal Brilliance. Each Crystal Beast monster you control gains attack equal to its original defense, so that'll give you more power, which is something that this deck has lacked for a long time, is having enough power to overtake stuff without Rainbow Dragon. Because we've never had a main deck boss monster, so. But the other effect says, if a Crystal Beast monster is placed in the spell and trap zone, even during the damage step, you can send this face-up card to the graveyard. Special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your hand or graveyard. Also, any damage you take this turn is halved. So it's another card that allows you to choose when you want to send it to the graveyard, which can help free up space in your back row. And then finally, for the last card of the deck, we have Ultimate Crystal Magic. This is a very, very good card, especially for getting the two fusion monsters out of the extra deck. When your Crystal Beast monster is destroyed by battle, you can send 7 Crystal Beast cards with different names from your hand, deck, and or face-up field to the graveyard to special summon 1 Ultimate Crystal Fusion monster from your extra deck. It is treated as a fusion summon. If a face-up Ultimate Crystal monster you control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, place any number of Crystal Beast monsters from your graveyard face up in the spell and trap zone as continuous spells. So this is like your fusion card to get out either one of your Rainbow Dragon fusions here. And if something should happen to them, maybe somehow you don't finish them off, OTK and whatever, Ultimate Crystal Magic will set your field back up so you can go into follow-up plays and even get another dragon out. And that is the main deck. So, we tried to pick as much budget cards as we could for the extra deck. It was kind of difficult. If you do just have 3 structure decks, you'll definitely want to play 2 copies of Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. So it takes 1 Ultimate Crystal monster plus 7 Crystal Beast monsters. He takes a lot of monsters. Must be special summoned from your extra deck. During a duel, use special summon an Ultimate Crystal monster by banishing the above monsters from your field and or graveyard, while 7 or more of your Crystal Beast monsters with different names are banished. That usually won't be too hard because you're definitely going to try to get out Rainbow Dragon, and Rainbow Over Dragon is really easy to get out, so you shouldn't have no tough time to get in the requirements for this card. Plus, you have Ultimate Crystal Magic. It says, while 7 or more Crystal Beast monsters with different names are banished, this card will gain 7,000 attack. So as you can see, he starts off at 4,000. If there's 7 of them banished, which usually there will be from your Rainbow Over Dragon, he's going to have 11,000 attack.
He beefy boy.
He big beefy boy. He OTK boy. He rivals trains now. And trains have always been the ultimate OTK deck. At least in my opinion. If this card is not battled this turn, you can activate the quick effect. You contribute this card to shuffle as many cards on the field as possible into the deck. And if you do, special summon any number of your banished Crystal Beast monsters. So, if somebody negates all your damage or somehow gets this monster off the field, which would be very, very bad. But that's the first one. He's a big beefy boy. Definitely need a 2 of. That way, in case Extravagance banishes one of them, hopefully you won't banish both of them. Now for your second card from the structure deck, you got Rainbow Over Dragon. Maybe that'll help it. A little bit. Oh, it likes that one. It likes super rares. So Rainbow Over Dragon takes 7 Crystal Beast monsters. It's always treated as an Ultimate Crystal monster too. Must first be fusion summoned or special summoned by attributing one level 10 ultimate crystal monster. So usually that would be your Rainbow Dragon. Once per turn, you can banish one crystal beast monster from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the banished monster's attack until the end of this turn. Quick effect, you can tribute this fusion summon card and shuffle all cards on the field into the deck. So, he's pretty easy to summon because you can take 7 crystal beasts to do it, or you can just tribute a Rainbow Dragon. He gets more attack points by banishing cards, which will help you get your ultimate crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. But then also, he's still a board wipe. Can't do nothing without board wipes anymore. And it doesn't target or nothing either. It just shuffles everything. So, somebody's going to have to figure out a way to stop these crystal beasts, and I don't think they're going to do it. Then we play one copy of Cross Sheep. Just a standard for all the fusion, links, and XYZs we play. So we'll be able to use the fusion effect, special summon a level 4 lower monster from the graveyard. XYZ effect, we can all opponent's monsters lose 700 attack, so we can get some use out of it. Nice link too. Then we play one copy of Saryuja Skull Dread, mostly here for the draw power. Just get extra draws, dig into the deck. Also, he big boy too. Then we play a Tri-Brigade Shurag the Ominous Omen. Since we play a lot of Beast and Wing Beast monsters in this deck, kind of figured it'd be nice to have one of the Tri-Brigades in here, and why not the big Ominous Omen big boy here. For those who don't know his effect, he says if this card is special summoned, or if another Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monster is special summoned to your field, you can banish one card on the field. Doesn't target and doesn't destroy, so it bypasses a lot of things. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is less than or equal to the number of your banished Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters. You only use each effect once per turn. So, he banishes a monster. Then, he gets you more cards from your deck when he leaves the field. So you can get more Crystal Beasts in your hands. The only Crystal Beast he won't work with is Emerald Tortoise, because it's an Aqua monster. But everything else is Beast or Winged Beast. Then we got one copy of Nightmare Unicorn. Spin cards back to the hand. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, hand. Also, who doesn't like the Ultra Heart? Then we got one copy of Nightmare Phoenix to get rid of spells and traps. One IP Masquerena to go into Nightmare Unicorn. Then we have another Tri-Brigade card, Farigit, the Barren Blossom. Kind of like Shurag, it uses a lot of our cards to go into a Tri-Brigade monster. And for those who don't know hers effect, during your main phase you can special summon a level 4 lower Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast monster from your hand. Also, you cannot use monsters as link material for the rest of this turn except for Beast Warrior, Winged Beast monsters. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can draw one card, then place one card from your hand in the bottom of your deck. You can only use each effect once per turn. So she helps get stuff out of your hand. She gives you draw power when she's gone. She helps set up for Shurag. So I think she's a pretty good card, pretty good fit in here as a tech. Nice tech card for your extra deck. Then we play for the XYZs, number 60, Dugaris, the Timeless. Extra draw power, extra power in general for the battle phase. He's just an all-around good rank 4, just to give us those extra oomph to go OTK. Play one Abyss Dweller to lock down the graveyards for zombie decks or whatever you want to play. Then we play a Tornado Dragon. This is a backup for back rows, or get rid of Mystic Mine, the Ominous Omen everybody wants to get rid of. And then for the final card, we have number 75, Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. Since we do have a few level 3 monsters in there, I think Bamboozling Gossip Shadow would be a good card to have. Just takes 2 or more level 3 monsters, and it says once per turn, when your opponent activates an effect, quick effect, you can attach 2 materials from this card. The activated effect becomes both players draw 1 card. You can target a, which you won't have number XYZ monsters really to worry about. But you can stop an opponent's effect and get you a free draw. So, nice little tech pick right there. But, that'll do it for this deck profile. For the most beautiful deck that was ever made. Maybe even more beautiful than Gem Knights. Good old Crystal Beast. Good old Jesse Anderson. This is the Dragon Mecha signing off from the missing link.
As always, guys, have a good one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, here soon, I look to have a Adventure Sprite deck up, so be looking out for that. And as always, stay safe.
We'll get it as soon as we find Draco back. He ran away the other day.